Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's another episode of Welcome to the Lou Town podcast, hosted by yours truly, Killah Threat.
Boy, Cool Cal.
And once again, we are like to go ahead and take out the time to show our appreciation for everybody that has been feeding us commentary within the comments on all these videos. We like all the likes, we like all the shares, we like all the engagement.
All the time.
You already know. But let's go ahead and break it down real quick. We already know we are still in Black History Month currently. I hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's Day for those who do participate in the holiday. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go ahead and talk to my black folk, my Nubian kings and queens. Let me get that right. My Nubian kings and queens out there, as far as our treatment in the community. Our treatment around ourselves and how people treat us as well. So let me go ahead and let's break down. We're gonna go ahead and do this layer by layer. So y'all go ahead and just hold it down, be patient, holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have different things, cause I could speak for a good amount of the community, but I can't speak for everybody in the community, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, different strokes for different folks. Everybody don't think alike. I don't expect everybody to think like me. These are my feelings and my feelings only, and I do not want to put my feelings on anybody else, especially if you don't feel or view the world as I view the world. So, without further ado, let's get down to it. Alright, so how I think that we should go ahead and be treated in the community as equal as far as the Arabian communities when they all come together, the Asian communities, so on and so forth. The African people, not the African American people, the Africans, you know what I'm saying, that come from Nigeria, Zimbabwe, South Africa. Shout out to Trevor Noah and all that. If we go ahead, and I know this is about to sound cliche, but if we go ahead and put our money together as far as practicing more of group economics and not being so much afraid of ourselves or afraid of people that might look like us, because I know we all have trauma in the past where people might have played you, people might have betrayed you, people might have went on and went the extra gangster route, you know what I'm saying, in certain situations. So I know a lot of people might have some flack when I say that we all need to come together and go ahead and use our spending power and put it within our own communities to receive better treatment. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like it could be a check off the list if we go ahead and just start from that point and just start from that little seed, you know, that little mustard seed of faith. Just go ahead and put it in the pot and maybe we can go ahead and get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If group economics is practiced, it don't have to be an extremely big group. You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody like, or a couple of people that might be in your circle that you might trust, that might see things like you see it, that might be on the same path like you are. You know what I'm saying? That you work with people with like minds. You know what I'm saying? Working with like minds, you can get a lot done. It won't be no procrastination. It'll just be execution. So
I feel like before we start doing group economics and things like that with the community, we gotta get back to the basics. And the basics starts with respect for one another. I don't expect nobody to put money in the pot with nobody else if we not respecting each other. We are not a community anymore. We just people that live next door to each other. When we was growing up in our time, it was a community. If I was outside doing something wrong, the neighbors could chastise me. They can tell my parents, my mama, my grandma, hey, Cal was out here doing this. I heard him say a cuss word. And then they'd discipline me afterwards. You know what I'm saying? We in a generation now where can't nobody say nothing to my child. Or you better not say nothing to my child. I'ma do this. Nah, it takes a village. We not a village no more. So before we get to economics, we gotta get that village back intact.
yeah, that's a very good point too. You know what I'm saying? Because in order to earn trust and to actually learn how to trust each other and communicate each other, you have to have respect. Because without respect, you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I live by this motto, especially during these recent years. I would rather be respected than be loved. Because you can love a lot of people and don't like them. You know what I'm saying? And don't respect them. I would rather you hold that love.
If y'all know me from growing up, y'all know I don't care about being liked or loved. But the respect is non-negotiable.
Trust.
It's non-negotiable. We can become friends and loved ones in the midst of that, but the respect is non-negotiable. And I feel like we need to get back to respecting one another, and then loving one another. But until we do that, the economic part is not going to work. It's not. It may work in, like you said, in small groups of people who are pretty much already a crew,
right?
And even so much of that may not work.
Right.
But until we get to that overall respect and love and being a village again, the economic part not gonna work.
Right. Very true. You know what I'm saying? As far as that goes, because it's always kind of shaky when you try to do business with friends and family. You know what I'm saying? I know people that do a lot of better business or do better business with people that they don't even know from a can of paint. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't nothing personal regarding it. It's just strictly business from top to bottom. Right. You know what I'm saying? But talking about business, I think once the trust, like, that's a very great point. We got to learn how to communicate, gain trust, respect each other. You know what I'm saying? Once we get that down, then we can go ahead and practice group economics within our small circles to go ahead and control the narrative of how we treat people and how we want to be treated within our businesses, no matter if it's home-based, no matter if you're in a commercial building, no matter if you're actually doing government contracts for like the sub-municipalities around, or not sub-municipalities, the municipalities around your city, just depending on whatever type of venture that you might or your partners might go out and go do, you would still have control of the whole thing. It won't be no person pulling your strings, you know what I'm saying, and disrespecting you. Once that's established, I feel with the trust and then the group economics, when people come together, then it's just all about good business practices. And what we mean by good business practices is treat people like you want to be treated when you step inside a business, and then go ahead and do that tenfold so you can go ahead and have returning customers coming back to do repeat business with whatever you do. You know what I'm saying?
Man, me and Blee was just talking about this. Shout out Blee. We was just talking about this. I'm not gonna name the establishment. Some of y'all may know. I'm not gonna name the establishment.
Oh boy.
I love they food. I love they food, but they customer service is horrible.
Garbage.
It's horrible. You try to call in an order, they never answer the phone.
Oh, that's all bad.
So you go up there because you can't get a call in. You go in the establishment, somebody on the phone. They on the phone talking, but they ain't taking no order. They talking about something completely nothing to do with the business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you just standing there waiting for them to get off the phone or tell them to hold on so they can take your order. And you just like, then eventually, they get an attitude, and then they'll finally take your order.
Right, like just like to try to get rid of you, to go ahead and get it over with.
Yeah, and then the wait time, it can be up or down, so I ain't gonna complain about that too much. I know how that is when you got a lot of orders, but just that customer service, that feel, I feel like with a lot of black businesses, it's another way that we flex on each other. So we flexed on each other with jewelry, cars, different kind of women, things like that, or men if you're a woman. Having a business has become another way to flex on each other. Like, you walk into somebody's establishment and it's like, well, you ain't got to be here, this is my stuff.
Facts.
As opposed to other communities where, they glad you coming in. Please come in, because we want your business.
Right.
I think we gotta do better with that part.
Very true. You know what I'm saying? When you run a business, if you want repeat business, you most definitely want to go ahead and do your utmost to respect the consumer, respect the customer. You know what I'm saying? You got to go ahead and show gratitude that they actually chose you to come in this instance, to come in and try your eatery, try whatever meals that you might have to provide. You know what I'm saying? This can be somebody that can be a great word of mouth and get it throughout the community that you the spot that's being overlooked, and you might want to go ahead and try them out and bring you more income to feed your family or to feed your endeavors and whatever endeavor that you plan to have in the future or the present. So we got to keep that in mind. It's good that we stepping up and other people are stepping up, you know what I'm saying, as far as doing businesses, but make sure you remain grounded on your 10 toes, you know what I'm saying.
You don't want to alienate your people who are happy to. I'm somebody that's happy to support. If y'all know me, community, I'm somebody that's happy to support you guys, happy to promote that I supported you guys on my page and stuff. You don't want to alienate the people that really want to be there and support you.
Facts.
Because one satisfied customer can turn into 10, 20 prospective new customers. But one disgruntled customer can turn into, same amount of people that won't even try your establishment. Whether it's, food service, clothing, whatever it is. Truck towing, whatever it is you're doing. You just want to, embrace your people, man. Embrace your people. We don't embrace each other.
Nah, not enough, you know what I'm saying? Because it's too much flexing. You know what I'm saying? Especially with us being in the drip era. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is worrying about the drip. And if you want to cut down the he say, she say, just go ahead and try to lead off with respect. If you want to get respect in whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? Because if you live in the hood or if you live in a community, you already know the word travels fast. You know what I'm saying?
Word of mouth still the best way of promotion.
Yeah.
We got social media. We got all these different things now. Word of mouth still the GOAT, still the best thing going.
Facts. Yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next topic at hand. You know what I'm saying? As you see that me and Cool Cal are currently, we just giving out some pointers, giving out some friendly advice that can help you if you're trying to start a business, or help you if you have a business, or help you if you want to think about getting a business with some of your comrades that are trustworthy and that have the intellect and the business mind to go ahead and rock things out, so y'all can go ahead and get some type of operable income for everybody to go ahead and eat. You know what I'm saying? So with this advice, this might be for people that's our age, is, we ain't old yet, but we are getting older. Thank God, Jesus and the Latter-day Saints.
Proud to say it.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of our friends ain't make it to this.
Sure. Man.
Proud of it.
Yeah, but like I say, this is like for the younger folk, you know what I'm saying, that might be in their 20s, because we ain't in our 20s, you know what I'm saying? I know we look young, because Black, we age with grace around this deal, you know what I'm saying? We doing our thing, we doing our thug thizzle. But, you know what I'm saying, it's just for the younger folk, and also the older folk, you know what I'm saying, that might not be hip to game or might be stuck in their ways. Even some young folks are stuck in their ways just because they never been told in a certain manner or with a certain respect on how to maybe start things or do things. So it's all about treatment, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. And I wish to be treated as well by my elders or by my people that might be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years my senior. You know what I'm saying? Who has dealt with life and seen life prior to me even being thought of, you know what I'm saying? Or trying out things as far as business or any other aspect, you know what I'm saying? And can put me on game. I take that game, I soak the game in, and I implement that. You dig? But now, since we have covered how we wish to be treated, you know what I'm saying? No matter if it's business or respect in the community, trust, love in the streets, you know what I'm saying? No matter if hood or suburb, you know what I'm saying? We still all one. Let's go ahead and talk about the reality of how we are treated. Like Cal already touched down on, not naming the spot, but basically stating that even though we want customer service within the business, we still go ahead and get half of what we should get, a quarter of what we should get. people are just going through the motions.
And I still support that spot, just not as much as I would like to because of the service. So I'm not telling y'all, if y'all know who I'm talking about, I'm not saying don't support them. I still support them. Just, not as much as I would like to because of the experience.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And the reality of that, and that's real good of Cal, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and still put money in their pockets because they got families to feed, they got a business to obtain and keep up, and an overhead to meet, you know what I'm saying? So for anybody that knows the place, don't put it in the comments or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? Because if you do, I'm gonna have to take them out the comments, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being upfront. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want no flack. I don't want no problems with nobody. Just to go ahead and make sure that we are good in the hood, in our communities, no matter if it's suburbs, the country, in the USA, out the USA, in St. Louis, East St. Louis, outside St. Louis. Who knows? Who cares? This is just for us to go ahead and give out pointers. You dig what I'm saying? Because we don't have which is bad that we do, but we don't have the crab in the bucket mentality, which a lot of us do. And we need to get out of that. I think our community would be better if we respect each other. But
I hate that term.
Yeah, I really hate the term. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with us just pulling each other down when we see somebody getting up, you know what I'm saying? That's just all bad. You should congratulate, and if you won't, go ahead and ask that person for some pointers if you want to go ahead and get on the same thing. But don't get jealous because they rising and escalating and elevating and you still at the same spot, or you worse than you was the year prior because you ain't executing. It's all about the choice of how you want to do things. You know what I'm saying?
I always looked at life like I can't understand a person with a haters mentality. Another man's success never made me feel like a failure. But I've always had the gumption to go get it myself. Sometimes that can't be taught.
Right.
Either you want some money or you don't.
Facts.
But whenever I see somebody doing better than me or seemingly doing better than me, I can't confirm if you are or not. I'm happy for them. Even if it's somebody that may not get along with or may not agree with them in certain aspects, I'm still happy you're able to feed your people.
Facts.
So
that's what it's all about, feeding your people. Because if we can go ahead and help each other feed our people, then we can go ahead and make the crime rate go down even lower. You know what I'm saying? But when you're back up against the wall, you don't have the type of knowledge acquired because some people might not be looking out for you because, and this will be the next thing, because people profile people. You know what I'm saying, within our community. That's with the police profiling us and even us profiling us at a certain degree.
Light skin versus dark skin.
Right. You dig what I'm saying?
I hate that mess too. Because when we get pulled over, I'm light skinned. If I get pulled over with my dark skinned partners, I'm still to the police.
Yeah. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And I just think when I say like profiling, like let's say for instance, we gonna go back to the business aspect real quick. If you go ahead and go to, let's say, a studio, because we music over here. You go to a recording studio and it's ran by a Caucasian or it's ran by an Indian fellow, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna go ahead and pay whatever price that they might have set. If it's $80 an hour, you gonna go ahead and pay the $80 an hour. And I know a lot of people in their psyche, they feel like you get what you pay for. So if it's more expensive, then you're gonna get a better outcome from whatever product that you're trying to put down.
That's not always the case.
That most definitely ain't always the case. But like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when I had a recording studio, I was charging $40 an hour. And people would come in just because of this, you know what I'm saying? They would be like, hey, you seem cool, you get free consultation, you get free game, I appreciate the jewels, but I only got this much, you know what I'm saying, to pay for the studio time. And I'm like, well, why would you even come to the establishment if you already know from the gate that it's this? Right, you know what I'm saying? So you already premeditated that you was gonna go ahead and try to negotiate something once we got here. Like, I'm not gonna turn down the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, that's kind of messed up. And once again, that goes back to what Cal said. It goes back to being respected. All leads with respect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and if you don't respect the business, if you don't respect the establishment, it's gonna be some bad treatment that's sent my way. I'm gonna reciprocate that right back to you. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's kind of unprofessional, but it's like, come on, man.
So they in the studio. They just told you. They just ran down all the different things that you're doing for them that would normally cost somebody. That you're doing, on the strength. And you ran down 3 or 4 different services that you're offering that you're not charging for.
Right.
Yet they still don't even want to pay for the $40 an hour.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's that get over mentality that a lot of us have. And let me just say this: that's not just limited to the black community. Don't think only black folks doing this stuff. You think that the same stuff don't go on in the white community? It does. The Asian community, it does. We're not in those communities.
Right. So we can't speak on it that much.
And when it come down to it, when it's time for them to mount up and be together, they are.
Right.
We the only ones that have that problem. But they go through the same stuff, entitlement and getting over, just like our race do.
Yeah. Finessing is real bad. We gotta
finessing
get over
is going
finesse.
on in every race.
Yeah, man. But yeah, as far as treatment goes, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the history of how my community, the African American community, the black community, the Nubian community. Shout out to all my kings and queens out there once again that's listening to the podcast. We appreciate y'all. If you a king or queen, go ahead and put 1 in the comments.
Hey, you know what? I'm about to say something. I'm gonna say that for another conversation.
Oh boy.
Cause all y'all ain't kings and all y'all ain't queens.
Facts.
Some of y'all is court jesters. Court jesters, clowns.
Yeah, comedians for real.
Yeah. We'll say that for another day.
Right. But yeah, just going on the history of how we want to be treated versus how we treat each other versus you know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna stop and let's just get down to the nitty gritty. So the history of how we've been treated in the black community or in our community, I'm gonna just go back to, let's say, the 1960s. You know what I'm saying? This is after the sharecropping era. You know what I'm saying? As far as after slavery, we had sharecropping because once we became free, quotes, once we became free, we ain't had nowhere to go. We went on and decided to go ahead and sharecrop. Is basically like our first knowledge or our first class in time management, as far as trading your time for something tangible like land or like money. I don't even think they was probably giving us that much money. If anything, it probably was like more than, you crop this land, you can stay on this land. So it's not slavery, but you can go ahead and own this house or live in this house as long as you tend this land. You know what I'm saying? Even though I have my own discrepancies with that, but then again, I can't judge because I'm not, if I was in that situation and I got a family that I have to take care of, and knowing that I'm a father of 4, I'm gonna do whatever to make sure that my family has a roof over their head, no matter if I gotta work 8 hours or 12 hours or 16 hours. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what's necessary to make sure me and mine is good. So, but from that point, after the sharecropping, we wanted to go ahead and start getting equal rights, being treated equally as human beings. You know what I'm saying? With the Jim Crow era, which demonstrated was very hard, and this is like during the time like our pops and uncles and aunties, they was really going through this. Our grandparents was really going through this when they were younger. Back in the day, our grandparents was like our age, and they were just having our parents during this time, during the Jim Crow era, where we gotta go ahead and deal with police brutality still, but it was like at a rate that was probably beyond what we can fathom, because it's only so much that's being caught on the camera or being broadcasted by the news, because social media most definitely wasn't out. The internet wasn't even out then. You know what I'm saying? So cops and law enforcement were able to get away with a lot more than they are now today in the present time. So dealing with unfair treatment as far as schooling, as far as housing, as far as education is like the same thing as schooling. But as far as life in general, voting, which voting is like was a very big thing, because if you can go ahead and place your vote, the mind state is you place your vote, you can go ahead and control basically what goes on in your city or what goes on in your county just by voting whatever representative might represent that city or said county. So once we got past that and the civil rights, and you know what I'm saying, then it was women having the vote, which they had to go through that as well in our community, which was very big as well. As far as the mistreatment of our community and the lynchings and all that stuff, and the dogs and fire hoses, and some of our black leaders, you know what I'm saying, being incarcerated or being murdered or being betrayed by their own circle, which they are representing. As you know, shout out to Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, the history of our treatment should have us know and keep in mind that we should always know where we come from, because from history we should be able to learn and not repeat history. Know what works, know what didn't work, you know what I'm saying, and be able to capitalize, especially with how technology and how things are. We should be able to go ahead and assemble and plan and do what need to be done to actually see things come to pass, whatever we plan to do as a community. You know what I'm saying? If we want equal rights, if we want equal treatment, we want to be treated with respect, we want to be treated with dignity, we got to first treat ourselves with respect and dignity, treat each other with respect and dignity next, and then come together to go ahead and do what every other culture has done. Just from what our ancestors, our grandmothers, and the people that's going through this, they in their late 60s. So they still like Ruby Bridges, the girl who had to get escorted to school, you know what I'm saying? She's 67. Look, she looks very beautiful. She don't look like nobody grandmama. That's 7 years older than my daddy. You know what I'm saying? So that just puts you in the mind state when people be like, why you gotta have these conversations? Because the same people, the same mob of all the racist people that was about to do ungodly things to Ruby Bridges, these are the same individuals that go to church right now. You know what I'm saying? They want the what's it called, Cal? It's something like is it race theory or something? The critical race theory. They want this. They want to call it CRT. They don't even want this discussed in schools. You know what I'm saying? Because they afraid that the grandkids is gonna actually see them at they raw self. You know what I'm saying? Showing them how they used to be in their 20s and their teens. You know what I'm saying? They in their 60s and 70s right now, embarrassed like a mug. You
think they embarrassed? Honestly,
I would say to a certain degree, not all of them, because you already know most of them are arrogant, and most of them stand by what they did in the past, and they feel like they had very good reason. And some, I can't put at fault because they don't know any better. If you think about it, if they learning this from their parents, and then their parents learned it from their parents, so it ain't nothing but just a trickle down effect of what's being taught in each family. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's true to an extent.
Yeah.
I believe once you get to a certain age and you have your own mind,
facts,
and you start living life and you start coming across these different cultures, you know, you should be able to separate certain things.
Yeah, very true. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the exact same way. I think of a very good example of that, just speaking on our community, was like Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X was brought up struggling, you know what I'm saying? Had to go ahead and do petty theft, got caught up, you know what I'm saying? Had to do some time, found Allah, you know what I'm saying, in jail. Studied Islam, came out, was a big representative of Islam. He was tired of the misrepresentation of black people, that we were all criminals and that we were all doofuses and dumb. That he had to go ahead and put his best foot forward to go ahead and align the community to respect each other first, and look at each other like kings and queens, and those that are worthy of life, to go ahead and push out the narrative that we can actually form our own thing, do our own thing. Segregation back then wasn't a bad thing for them, or for them at the moment before the integration things got to going on, where everything got placed together, because that's when we were learning to actually do for each other, love each other, trust each other, work with each other, and thrive for and with each other. You know what I'm saying? But once he learned like certain things, when he started to visit different cultures, like when he went on his trip to Mecca, and he started to see that Muslims weren't all black, they all different colors, black, white, brown, yellow, you know what I'm saying? That changed his perspective, you know what I'm saying, on things. So when he came back to the States, hollered at Ali, you know what I'm saying, let him know about his pilgrimage to Mecca, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, we ain't the only ones that worship Allah, you know what I'm saying? Then things started to get hazy. His whole outlook on things wasn't as far as just a tunnel vision anymore. It was more not so Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King was strictly non-violent, you know what I'm saying, from across the board.
You know, it's funny.
What's up?
Towards their end, both of their roles kind of switched.
Facts.
You know, Martin Luther was non-violent. Towards the end, when he was starting to be like, you know what, we're going to do what we got to do.
Right.
While Malcolm was, you know, handle your business. They touch you, touch them back.
Right.
Towards the end, he was a little more...
you for everybody.
Yeah, he was a little more diplomatic.
Yeah, because I know Martin Luther was like, feel like I'm leading my people into a burning house. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's a big burden for any man with his stature, especially him being put, like we was discussing prior to the show, you know what I'm saying, when people are put on a pedestal or looked at such like they're on a pedestal, that's a lot to have on your mind and on your psyche, because that's a lot of blood on your hands. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know, so most definitely they had to go ahead and maneuver how they maneuver once new things came about. Martin seen that there wasn't no change. Malcolm seen what he was doing. It was giving a great impact, but Malcolm also wanted to represent truth from all sides. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he gonna put his name, his face, his stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at it. But yeah. Now we're gonna have to reach on into the episode where we're gonna talk about some solutions, which I think that me and Cool Cal have been talking about a lot of solutions. You dig, regarding treatment. You know what I'm saying, as far as what we can do to better the community, to bring the community together, and to thrive as a community. Which I know is a few things out there, like I like the reach one, teach one. You know what I'm saying, which I feel like that can be for anybody. That can be for the young folk that might be in middle school, high school, even the young adults that's in their 20s, to us that's in our 30s, you know what I'm saying, to the older people, you know what I'm saying, that's not old yet, that's in their 40s, to the people that's reaching the golden age, that's in their 50s, to the people that's at the golden age in their 60s and 70s, you know what I'm saying. Everything is always a lesson in life. We are all forever learning. So if we go ahead and, like I say, practice being selfless and not always thinking of self first, you know what I'm saying? If you go ahead and put a jewel in somebody's ear, or put a bird in somebody's ear, and let them know how they can go ahead and come up on something, no matter what it is. If it's carpentry, cool. If it's music, cool. If it's fashion, cool. If it's food, cool. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, you know what I'm saying? It could be real estate, cool. It can be getting a crib, cool. You know what I'm saying? Or starting your own independent business or whatever tickles your fancy. You know what I'm saying? If we reach one and teach one, we'll be better off as far as a community. And that treatment, that love that's being represented, that respect that's being shown, that can be taught and trickle down the line with generations, where your kids will see that, and then your kids do that, and then they kids see that, and then they kids do that. It'll be a forever trickling effect. That's one solution in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Another solution will be self-educating. Don't ever be afraid to read a book. You know, Cool Cal stated a good point in a previous episode. You know, the famous saying is, if you want to hide something from us, You know, put it in a book.
Put it in the book.
Yeah. Because a lot of us, for some odd reason, don't like to read. I think just from the people that I grew up around, some people are just ashamed of their reading level, and they might not like to read around people. Read by yourself. Take as long as you want. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you only as smart as you want to be. And then once you get that knowledge, make sure if you feel like a person that you really care about, if they in your family, cool. If they out your family, cool. Meaning that the people within your hood walking, sharing the block with you. If you feel like that education could put them on, go ahead and be selfless. Go ahead and put them on. You're going to feel better at the end of the day, because putting somebody on don't cost you nothing. It's completely free. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? And then from that point, when we put these things into practice and put these things into motion, you will start seeing things come about and start to see that the narrative will change about how we view ourselves and how people view ourselves. You know what I'm saying? As far as young African Americans or old African Americans, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the conversation. It's all about the respect. Once you get the respect, you can get the trust. And then once the trust is built up in the community, then you'll find out that people will be loyal to the process, or be loyal to the business and the business owners.
Stop living to flex on your brother or sister. That's my solution. Stop living to stunt on your brother or sister. What is stunting on my ex? What is that? If she my ex, I don't care enough about what she got going on to stunt on her. Stop living to step on other people, especially in your community. The rest will play itself out. That's my solution.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cap this off, y'all. Once again, we do appreciate y'all vibing, chilling, watching, commenting, engaging, sharing the content that me and Cool Cal always provide. Just know that we drop episodes every Thursday on YouTube. You can also find the Welcome to the Lewtown podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and now Apple Podcasts.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's various things. And on the Apple Podcast, you can also pay a small little subscription, you know what I'm saying, if you want it to be ad-free, and we're going to be doing extra episodes within that too. It might be some me, might be some Cal, might be some me and Cal. It might be me and a special guest. It might be Cal and a special guest. You know what I'm saying? Because we know a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? So we most definitely want to keep everybody tied in with fresh content and with real content, you know what I'm saying, to have real questions, to have real conversations, because we all adults, you know what I'm saying, within our community. We should be able to have these conversations and do this as fluidly as possible. But yeah, as a matter of fact, before we even go, because you know we about to roll out, make sure you go ahead and check out the CoolKillahz album. I ain't playing either. Check out that cool, right? Check out CoolKillahz. You already know. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere on YouTube, Tidal, Spotify.
All streaming platforms. Whatever streaming platform you think you got Pandora, it's on there.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? And like always, you can go ahead and stream if you work out on that Peloton. You know what I'm saying? Get your reps in. You know what I'm saying? Listen to Like a King, or listen to Show Enough, or listen to No Ops. You know what I'm saying? Which now is most definitely almost at that 100K, y'all. Make sure you view that, listen to that. The clean version of that is out too. If you want to go ahead and view all the music videos, you know what I'm saying, which the latest music video is Playing with Fire, which is me and Cool Cal on the Hood Philanthropist Project. We would appreciate that you go ahead and play that, spread that around the neighborhood like wildfire, and leave the fire extinguisher at home. We appreciate you. Till next time, holla back at your boys.